Lee Cowan has had a remarkable heart-to-heart talk with a woman who can tell us a lot about hearts, all of it learned through the most trying of experiences.
My transplanted heart was coming to its abrupt end. It was not
When Amy Silverstein sat down to write about her life, death was probably a little indignant. After all, Amy cheated death, not once, but twice.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wow.
I'm here from my...
At the heart of Amy's story are her hearts. Yes, hearts, plural.
Isn't that cool? What your heart sounds like.
Amy's had 3 hearts so far, starting with the one she was born with. That one failed when she was just 24 years old, while she was out on a date.
We were at dinner, and all of a sudden my heart started beating erratically.
What did it feel like?
Just a pulsing that was very powerful. Boom, 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 fast. I just remember saying, you know, don't let me die, don't let me die.
Turns out a virus had damaged her given heart beyond repair. Her only option was a transplant. She was eventually matched with the heart from a 13-year-old girl. But living with a transplant wasn't the turnaround some might expect. The medication that she was taking daily to keep her body from rejecting her new heart was pretty nasty stuff, with even nastier side effects.
I've spent most of my adult life trying to keep Amy alive.
That's Scott, the man Amy was out with on that fateful date. They married a year to the day after she got the transplant.
We have an incredible love affair for 25 years, but day to day, it was filled with a lot of sickness, a lot of crisis, a lot of nights in the emergency room.
Her closest friends saw just how hard living really was. Not that Amy wasn't grateful.
We don't live inside of her body. And as close as we are, we don't know what it takes for her to get up and live every day and be in discomfort and feel nauseous and sick.
I fought to keep this heart going with every pill, with every heart biopsy, with every run I would take, even if I felt sick. Such good care, such honoring of this gift that I had. But, you know, when you're 25 years old and you feel so ill, it's just, for me, impossible to have gratitude just carry you along with a smile. I believe that you can be grateful and angry, grateful and sad, grateful and lonely.
That sentiment made it into a book she penned back in 2007 called Sick Girl. In it, she detailed that while she lived her life, even adopting a son, there were times she didn't feel much like living. Her account was frank, it was honest, and it was criticized.
I did get some really cruel responses. Cruel. I mean, one person wrote something to the effect of, the doctor should have let you die. Really? You know?
Her transplanted heart gave it everything it had, surpassing doctors' expectations by beating for an astonishing 25 years, more than double its predicted lifespan. But the day finally came when it too began to fail, forcing Amy to make a decision, get in line and hope for yet another transplant, or let her dying heart take her with it.
I had lived to 50 years. I had seen my son grow, gotten him off to college. I had written a book. I had graduated law school. I had married Scott, and we had wonderful years together. Maybe it was time, you know?
Scott didn't fault her reservations. Neither did those friends.
But despite all that, though, I'm sure you still wanted to urge her in the direction of
we
fighting
always
as hard as
did.
she could.
Yes.
Urge would be an understatement.
Yes. But also
exhort.
Right.
Robin Abrams, Lauren Stern, and Jill Dresner helped form what could only be described as a support group posse.
No takers?
I know. I'll be dancing.
Her best chance at getting a second heart transplant, a rarity by anyone's measure, was to leave her home in suburban New York and travel to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. 9 of her closest friends promised that if she did that, they would fly out with her to keep watch over her and her husband every step of the way.
I love a good spreadsheet, so I just organized and coordinated it.
Not a single night by yourself,
Not a single
right?
night.
So do you think had it not been for that effort on the part of all your friends to make sure that you never spent a night alone, that maybe you wouldn't have gone through with it?
I think I wouldn't have gone through with it.
Her friends came and went in 4-day shifts, often arriving a bit jet-lagged from the airport, with bags full of decorations to give Amy something to look at. They took her for walks, they did her hair, but the best comfort was simply their company.
Time was so precious, right? It's just life in high relief. I don't know how you're going to feel tomorrow. You might not sleep tonight. Let's just take advantage of the time.
It felt like a very special and separate kind of womb, like a cocoon
Contained.
almost. Yeah,
But really intense.
yeah, very intense.
How do you put a number on that? How do you measure that? It was just so critically important.
Almost 3 months into that devoted vigil, Amy's doctor finally appeared in her doorway with some rare good news.
He said in that lovely, soft, humble voice of his, "We've got a donor for you." And he said that it was a 13-year-old girl. And I started to cry.
Yes, incredibly, the heart of another 13-year-old girl would give Amy another shot at life.
How close to dying were you think?
I don't know if it was days, maybe a week. Very, very close.
She and Scott sat on her bed, pondering what was about to happen. Again. And then it was off to surgery.
Okay, Amy.
Hi.
All right, good to see you.
Good to see you.
It was 3 years after that day that we accompanied Amy back to Cedars-Sinai for a routine checkup.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Not one missed beat. I don't
No.
hear any extra sounds.
Yeah, good.
I could not be more pleased.
Okay.
In the years since her first transplant, medical science has come a long way. Her new heart is a better match. The drugs are more targeted, the recovery time less. In fact, she was back to working out within weeks. On most days, she even beat Scott on a run. But with every foot hitting the pavement comes the very same thought.
I'm a mother to this heart, and I feel her. She was very much an athlete. I can feel that in this heart. And sometimes I even push out my chest a little bit when I'm running and let her run. I know that's kind of weird, right? But I feel her, and I feel that I'm carrying around a daughter this time.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, smiles.
There was a party at Amy's house this past week to celebrate her second book, fittingly titled, "My Glory Was I Had Such Friends." In short, it's about the power of showing up for those you love, no matter the odds, no matter the distance.
These are icing on the cake days. So I'm just so fortunate to be alive. I can't believe I made it.